Welcome to my Ignite presentation, Outreach to Reluctant Readers by Laura Hogan for LSC531 Information Resources and Competencies for Youth, taught by Dr. Renee Hobbs at the University of Rhode Island. Some, not all, preteen and teen boys have reputations in school as unmotivated, not wanting to be there, only giving half of what they are capable of. Why are some boys so unmotivated and known as reluctant readers? Research and data shows things are staying about the same or getting worse as far as reading scores, and boys are losing ground every day in our schools. The trouble is, boys are slipping in reading ability at a time when reading ability has skyrocketed in importance for long-term success in life. Research shows boys require an understanding of who they are, different teaching methods, male role models, and different approaches to reading materials. Some are saying that it may be time to consider helping boys the way girls have been helped to gain better footing. Research also shows brains develop at different rates. Girls' brains develop 3 years ahead of the average boy and complete around age 11 and a half. Boys use only half their brains until teens. Boys need movement to stimulate the immature part of their brain, and reading requires both sides of the brain. Boys' brains will catch up in high school with little time left to overcome the reading deficit. Girls tend to internalize, boys tend to externalize. Girls look for the universal in themselves, and boys look for themselves in the universe. Boys are different from girls. In addition, boys are facing learning disabilities. 1 out of every 3 boys in the U.S. is in a remedial reading program by the time he is in 3rd grade. Between 80 to 95% of the children diagnosed with ADHD in the 1st through 3rd grades are male. Being a boy has become a disability. In addition, boys who have persistent reading problems do not feel good about themselves, and this can lead to mental health issues. The heavy weight of disapproval from teachers eats away at their self-confidence. The research also shows that boys need male role models, and they can often help boys make the connection between their personal experiences and their literary development. In addition, men need to be seen reading too. Boys also encounter certain periods during their schooling where they can hit slumps. The first starting in kindergarten. Some boys just are not ready to read yet due to brain development issues. 4th grade, which is the most commonly known, the 4th grade slump, is when boys stop learning to read and begin reading to learn, and this is when many of them drop off from reading. The last slump is in high school, which can begin in 7th and 8th grade, and boys stop reading for pleasure. What is the definition of a reluctant reader? There are 3 definitions that span this. Most boys fall into the second, which is dormant reader, which is uninterested, unmotivated, good enough readers who do not engage due to a lack of support or role models. Some ideas being tried in schools is separating boys and girls from major subjects, math, science, and English, starting boys in kindergarten later, and using digital literacy in the classroom to get boys engaged. William Brazo, a literacy and boy expert, says there's no need for special measures. We just need to link a boy's out-of-school literacies with his academics, and he will become interested. They need to feel like they're resources in the classroom. Earlier this year, YALSA came out with a report stating that libraries must re-envision teen services to meet the needs of their communities. They must ensure that the nation's 40+ million teens develop the skills necessary for the 21st century. This is an opportunity for public libraries and YA librarians to get into this conversation and help schools and parents engage preteen and teen boys. The library is a piece of the puzzle. As David Lanke stated in the Atlas of New Librarianship, it's an age for participatory librarianship, facilitating conversations of knowledge and being of the community in both concept and action and building relationships. Librarians have the opportunities to forge relationships within their communities, bring more programming to their libraries, and create space and collections to give boys what they want. They also need to reach out to boys. If the boys won't come to the library, bring the library to them. Ideas for outreach to boys: having mini commercials out in the schools, book clubs with men leading, read aloud programs in school and outside of school, a guys read section or shelf within the library, setting up a guy reading mentor program, opportunities for boys to give their feedback on books at the library. There are ideas all over the place, and this is the time for librarians to get in the conversation. Beginning of references, references continued, references continued, references continued, end of references. Thanks for listening.